Now it's time to get up and move a little, okay? Much of the country is experiencing a year with really wet weather and plenty of precipitation in the first 6 months.
Of course, we're not part of that club here in Colorado, but meteorologist Cory Reppenhagen will show us now the stark contrast between the dry west and the rainy east.
Take a look at the country's first 6 months of precipitation in 2020. A surplus in the southeast and a deficit in the west. Birmingham, Alabama has had 20 inches more rain than their average for the first half of the year, while San Francisco, California has had an 8-inch deficit so far. That's 70% less rain than normal. In Colorado, just about the entire state is running a precipitation deficit. Durango has had less than 3 inches of precipitation since January 1st. That is 50% below average. Grand Junction has also had less than 3 inches, 32% below average. Pueblo is 60% below average, with just a little more than 2 inches. And Denver has had about 5 inches. That's more than 2 inches less than normal, or 30% below average. The same areas continue to get hit across the nation. As North Carolina recovers from recent flooding, a flash flood watch now covers 6 other eastern states that already have some of the highest precipitation totals for the year. The latest outlook from the Climate Prediction Center for the month of July shows a high chance for below average precipitation across most of the country, including some of those areas out east that have been running well ahead of normal. Meteorologist Cory Reppenhagen, 9 News.